Ridiculous. This is why we have trials, and this is why like I don't even fucking know. It's fine.
We're here.
We shouldn't
We're live.
fine. Yes, we're live. It's doing fine. Can you like see that on LinkedIn? Anyway. Yeah, I like it's not a real Ask Her Quiet moment until somebody's crying. I'm crying on the inside is what's happening. Like, and I don't even know. Anyway, so apparently the live was like deleted on LinkedIn, which it super wasn't. I posted it this morning. So like, okay, fine.
Aww.
So now I don't know, like all those cute people that RSVP'd for me, I have no idea if they're around or not, which is fine, I guess. But that means that our plan of reading the news today was exactly
read and talk about the news. Yes. And then we can do the weather.
We can do the weather. In fact, I will tell you something fun. The London weather report for this week through next weekend is sunny and 65. And I was like,
London fog who?
Yeah, exactly. Never knew her. They make great jackets, but not great weather. So anyway.
Oh, wait, you're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah. So much life has to be lived before then. Don't stress me out. I'm not.
If I can get through today, I can get through anything.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've decided I need to like do something about this table because like.
Ooh, I had that with my laptop earlier.
Yeah.
It's still a bit like that. I have to push it against the wall.
Oh, interesting. I need to just not lean on my table, apparently. So we're putting my hands in my pockets, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
Perfect.
P.S. I like your merch.
This merch?
This merch, yeah.
Thank you.
Like, what side are we on?
Oh, do you also like the logo?
I do like the logo.
It's actually on my wall.
My favorite part is that like on YouTube, I also added like a little logo down the bottom corner. So like this side of the frame is like very Ask Her Quiet heavy. Yes, I'm like, we need to bring the branding way down. It's gonna be
I could get black on black here. That's the accommodation I can
Absolutely not. I need people to read it. I need to be a walking billboard. I granted you the hat. That's all.
Love the hat. I love the hat.
But if I had my druthers, the white text on black hat would be the only one we sell.
Interesting. Noted. That's on live.
Yep. It's on 3 channels at this point in its life. So LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We have quite a following on Facebook.
Interesting.
Which I didn't understand at first, frankly. But yes.
It's not a dead channel.
I know, seriously.
Not a dead language.
Yeah. Now, here's my problem. Yeah, exactly. The live I posted to my page, to my profile this morning, it's like not happening. So I'm like, I need to put a new link in there somewhere that's just like.
I see.
So now I need to find what this is. While we're doing this, what is because I can multitask and I don't know that you can, so I will help us out here. Do you want to talk about the news? Yeah, what are you reading on the news? Like,
couple things caught my attention today.
Okay, I was like, I always wanted us to do like a live, like a news related thing, but I was like, I like us being ahead. You know what I mean? Like, I really like us being ahead rather than stuck on whatever we have to talk about today. So,
right. This is not news actually, but it was in the news. You ready?
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited.
There's a LinkedIn piece, the headline of which is about job seekers becoming pickier on pay. Which is interesting because I don't know that the job market can support that right now.
Sure. Like, you kind of have to take whatever you've got, like.
Right.
But what
kind of hidden in there. So the level of compensation that U.S. job seekers are willing to accept to take on a new job is continuing to soar. The demand that what they're demanding has risen. This is probably over 10%, 15% annually.
Interesting.
And not only year over year, but up from November from 73.3K to 81.8K.
Wow.
Significant.
Okay. Yeah.
What I think is interesting is that the survey that they're reporting this from indicates a difference in what men and women demand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
right?
First of all, don't color me
Not
surprised,
news.
but also irritated. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that news? I don't know.
right. So that's the average. The numbers I just read, 73 in November and 81K presently, um, is the average. But men were seeking 95, which is 14K above the higher number from now.
The audacity. The audacity.
Or said differently, the unaudacity of women who are demanding 30K
Yes.
less.
I need women to be more demanding, more assertive, more just like, listen, I'm worth this, so suck it up. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just like get it done. Give me
Right,
something.
right.
I also saw that Caitlin Clark, like I don't know that you follow sports or social media. So Caitlin Clark is a basketball player. And
No, few things in
okay,
life.
good. She just got signed to the WNBA and her
Right.
salary was released today. It is, if just in case you think we've closed the wage gap anywhere, 76% of a male
Oh,
counterpart.
no.
I was like,
Well, okay.
I don't like we've been saying this number for decades now, and inflation hasn't touched it. 76 cents to the dollar. And we literally have a woman who's playing basketball at the professional level. It's the same. The game is the same. You're doing the same job. You're the same position on the team, and you're making 76% of your male counterpart. You guys.
Counter argument, consumer taste and preferences.
No, fair. Like, I'll give you that. But like at some point, are we like are are we just feeding that? Okay, I've put the link on my thing so everybody
Okay,
kind of
good.
at least they can direct themselves over here. Or this is gonna be the most amazing rewatch we've ever done. No, I totally hear what you're saying on the like consumer taste and preferences, but like at some point it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So like
Right.
I run into this in social media all the time where people like they're like, well, I I get the most traction on my posts when I post at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
but
Right.
tell me the last time you posted at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
Never.
Mhm.
Like, well,
Right.
most of our people are on at 5 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, because you posted at 4, and so they're gonna see it. The people that are on are gonna see it, but you've lost 10 hours of traction there. So you can't tell me your content performs the best unless you post and at 8 o'clock for an entire month, at 9 o'clock for the entire month, at 10 o'clock for the entire month, and just like segmented that out. Like, so
At which point the behavior might have changed over the course of a year if you're testing like
yes,
12 hours of a day, you know?
yes, yes. Hey, guess what? People have figured out where we are. Jackie Pompaselli is live with us now.
Oh,
I would trust Jackie to sort out an operational issue like this. Just of course she's the first one here. Thank you, Jackie. I love you so much. But yeah, no, like lest you forget, I think the Caitlin Clark thing. I think that the like gap that you mentioned in what survey was it again?
what so, oh, I didn't pull that out, but from the New York Federal Reserve.
Oh, geez. Okay,
Yeah,
both the government and the NBA like are reminding us today that lest you forgot the wage gap is closed. It's not like,
right,
and we're not even talking about the silent work that women have been doing throughout the pandemic, leaving their jobs. Women are returning to the workforce at a lower rate than men because guess what? We can't work from home anymore. So
mhm.
yeah, no, it drives me crazy. And I think that's like, now I'm gonna cry. I think that's like why I'm so excited about the work that you and I get to do all the time is just this is what we're teaching women to do is like how to play the game and get what you want at the same pace that a man gets it.
Right,
Because guess what? There's nothing stopping you. If only if there were one thing, it's going to be limiting beliefs, right? It's
right,
going to be yourself getting your own way, saying I'm not worth that much, and like I'm excited that like Caitlin Clark has so much outrage about her salary. I hope there's some hope that they bump it up in the next like few months before we really start playing. So like
well, if she was doing it the ask your wife way, negotiation conversations happened before the offer letter was signed, and they will only continue to proceed after
that's right.
after she
So
work starts.
yeah, what's my 90-day evaluation and like how quickly can
Mhm.
we get us to 100% of my male counterpart?
Yeah. I'm willing
That's
to sign today if I have a 6-month agreement
yeah.
about reevaluation.
Uh-huh. We have a weekly one-on-one, and the top agenda item is where's my raise?
Where's my
That's it.
raise?
Yeah,
Yeah.
period. I just
Mhm.
yeah, or you know what? If I were her, I would negotiate spot bonuses for every time she wins and every point she scores. Like for every point that I put on the
commission
board,
based.
yeah, 100%. Like we can have a base plus situation. I have zero issues with this. You know, like I don't care that it's $1 million contract. Like I need I need corporate America to like take on the NBA, the WNBA. Actually, that's what I need.
Perfect.
Where's Kayla? Does anybody know who her agent is? I have some thoughts.
Send her this link. What's happening?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
What else?
Speaking of women and how men and women relate in the workplace, you posted something interesting as a comment in thread this morning, which might not mean a lot to you, who is very deep in the LinkedIn comment thread post, but this particular one was about apologizing.
Yeah.
The words "I'm sorry" or "sorry."
Yes. Oh, love you, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I saw this. First of all, it was a chart, which I loved. I was like, give me a visual, everybody. And it was just a pie chart that says like the number of times female entrepreneurs apologize for their wins. I was like, first of all, why are we apologizing?
Of all the things you're apologizing for, right?
I'm apologizing for a solid fuck up. That's fine. That's whatever, but like not a win. So so then like the comments are fairly active, and I put it down there. It was like, you know, this is something that has been near and dear to my heart recently. I've been just like, I've stopped apologizing. And because what I realized is like, what I'm saying when I say I'm sorry is, or what I should mean when I say I'm sorry, is that I would have chosen differently given the same opportunity. Like I chose poorly. I made a mistake, right? However, 9 times out of 10, when I'm apologizing for something, it's because something of a higher priority came across my desk and I had to take it.
No, not you had to take it. You chose
I
to
did.
take
I
it
chose to take it.
based on a sensical evaluation of prioritization of an opportunity, right?
But you know how culturally insensitive it is to say, guess what? You're just not a high enough priority for me to pay attention to you. Yeah. So
we softened that with sorry.
Yeah, I was like, sorry. But like hashtag sorry, not sorry. Cause like, so that's what I said in this comment. I was like, listen, I'm working on the clarity is kindness plus tact of it all. But like, that's the truth. Like, I'm not sorry. I wouldn't change it. Like, I wouldn't change because those are my priorities and I have them set. They're in a spreadsheet. If you want to see it, I'll show it to you later. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you have that for your personal life, but even more so in your business life, like there's a reason, there should be a business reason for every choice you make.
100%.
And I bet there's a spreadsheet that says, actually, I'm not sorry because this is the choice I made over here and I've got a win to show for it.
Yes, there is. In fact, we have several of those. In fact, at Ask Your Archive, that like there's a pecking order in the channels. Like there's a reason that you produce the podcast and I produce the lives. You know, like everyone loves a solid, like behind the scenes, a little bit chaotic moment over here. They don't want that in their ears every week. They want actionable items immediately available to them. So you get to do that, and I get to do this.
You mean I produce consistently a 5 a.m. podcast every Wednesday for 3+ years?
Okay, yeah. And I am just like, you know what? Let's figure out and find out. This seems fun. Let's go. Yeah.
That's great.
Which is why the lives get lower on the priority list than that. Like, and if
they're deprioritized for London, for example, which you're not sorry about because London's more important.
That's right.
Or next week.
Tuesday we're skipping the lives because I will be in London. I'm not taking a computer with me. Like, you might catch me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Vanessa Oler.
You will catch her on Instagram.
Yeah. But this trip, you know what I'm prioritizing? I'm actually prioritizing being unplugged so much so that I'm taking disposable cameras with me for this trip. And it's
cameras?
Yeah, I have one per day because I was like, I cannot do one on this whole like I cannot do 27 frames in 5 days. I'm a maximalist, everybody. Are you kidding me? I need 10 frames every morning, noon, and night. That's
at least.
Night gets the short shaft because I don't think it's gonna do well at night, but in the dark. But like, yeah, please, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be incredible. And in fact, like I've set up everything to be that way. So I had a conversation with my sister about like offloading some responsibilities that she and I share. So like I moved some other things off my calendar.
Like home-based responsibilities. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's exactly one person that I've said, hey, I'm willing to take a call with you in London. You just let me know when you're available.
Right.
That's it.
And you're not sorry.
Nope. Like them's the priorities. So I like,
I actually would be curious, on the sorry topic, how are you practicing that?
mm, it's like, I find myself like, kind of like stop. It used to be maybe 3 weeks ago, stopping mid sentence. Like I
Mm.
just like it's almost a habit. It's almost like a knee jerk reaction. Like, oh, I don't even I've eradicated so much from my vocabulary. I can't come up with an answer like an example. Um,
It's top of my tongue, tip of my tongue. It's the
yeah,
first thing that comes out when I'm
yeah,
in passing in public.
yes. Oh, sorry, sorry,
I'm
sorry.
not
Like
sorry
no, mm-mm.
exactly. It's a excuse. I'm trying to replace
Excuse me.
sorry with excuse me,
Yeah,
which is
so much
perfectly polite, appropriate, and accurate.
totally. So for me, it becomes just lobbing that off, like just taking the sorry off of there and just starting with whatever the sentence is. I'm available today. Instead of a sorry
Oh,
I missed
yeah.
you, yesterday, I'm available today. Just
Uh-huh.
starting with a hey, I'm available today. What does your schedule look like? Like it's almost like a non-addressing, like whatever
Yeah.
happened, happened. And like
Yeah.
my favorite example of this actually recently was my friend and I had a meeting to discuss a trip we were taking. And we both agreed on this meeting. It was on our calendars, even like
Oh,
because
it's
we
that's a real meeting.
we run and live our lives by a calendar, especially like if we're gonna plan a travel trip. And we both didn't call each other. Like it was set for 3:45. 3:45 came and went. 4:45 came and went. We didn't speak to each other, nothing like 2 days later, we finally like were on the phone and he said, I'm sorry about the other day. I was like, I'm not. Very clearly, we both had different priorities, and luckily those matched up just fine. So like that's what it comes down to is like what are your priorities, do you know what they are,
So
and
interesting.
have like and for me it's the onus is on me to communicate those priorities earlier, like
Sure.
hey,
Yeah.
I would love to set a call for here, but if something comes up I'm gonna have to bump it,
Yeah.
like just kind of that
Well,
little caveat. And I hate to caveat all of it all the time like that because like I do want to be impeccable with my word, and sometimes that, which is the hard part,
interesting.
saying no to things like just outside
Yeah,
being like
right.
actually I don't have time for that, like
Right.
I had to
Well,
turn
and
down
you
the
did
client. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say you mentioned at the top of this conversation the importance of tact.
Yes. Totally. And I think
So
tact
finding
is
that balance, I think, matters.
100%. I got into like a frankly too far down this conversation with a potential client recently where I realized I didn't have time to take this on. Like I just
Interesting.
don't. Like there's
Yeah.
enough, stuff going on with the family business and a few other things that I was just like I don't like I might have the time for it during the day, but I don't have the attention that it deserves.
Yeah.
And so like it got into a pitching situation and like I was his choice and like we were ready to sign on the dotted line and go and I had to pull out and I was just like I'm
Shoot.
so sorry, but like I know that if I continued, and I did apologize for that because it got past the point I should have said
Well,
something.
you made that distinction. Like there's something you recognize a mistake that was
Yep,
made
totally.
versus this post that we're talking about from this morning, apologizing for wins?
Yeah, stop. No, I will never.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mistakes,
Tactfully,
sure.
socially. Yes.
Mhm. Yes, but
Hmm.
never a never a win. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the sentence? It sounds absurd to say. Could you imagine the sentence like, I'm the number one. I'm a co-host for the number one podcast for like women's career advice in America. I'm sorry. Stop. That sounds so stupid.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like so just quit that. All of it. Like I'm sorry I'm so popular that I had so many meetings and I had to take a call with Good Morning America this morning. Add some tact to that, but like don't apologize for it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't say it like that, but just certainly don't say it. Jeez. Yeah, it was an interesting conversation. I'd love for you to like go read the comments on that post. Because she was like, it was really kind of like, oh, in fact, here it is. The comment section is like blowing up right now. The person who posted it, her name is Eleanor Beaton, Eleanor Beaton, and she's the CEO of Safi Media, Safi. She posted this 4 hours ago, and like, holy crap, There's 28 comments, and not all of them are her. I tagged you in it, by the way.
I saw.
Because they're just such good examples of like times where women are apologizing, they don't need to be apologizing. Like, you simply don't. So what are some ways that you can just like quit that and like, and for me, it was just taking it off, just like in ways that like, I think email is probably the best example of this. Is like, how many times in an email do you say, sorry for the delayed response? Just don't. Just don't.
Right. Replacements I really like are like, you could, okay, lobbing it off is one. I think you could, if you feel the need to attend to that like moment of miss or uncommunicated reprioritization.
Sure.
Something like, appreciate your patience with the delay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. 100%.
It's one of those things.
I support that. And like, yeah, if that like, and that's a way to like infuse.
Thanks for your flexibility.
Yeah. I have.
Or look, I'm replying now. Who gives a shit?
Right, exactly. Well, that's my problem is like, if I say things like that, sometimes it comes off condescending because no one's surprised, actually. Like, could you imagine an email from me that said, thank you so much for your patience? Like, it would have a different tone than if you sent that email. So, like, I just get to not. I'm just like, no.
That's a good solution for you.
Everyone else, feel free to add whatever Holland says because y'all are all nicer than me. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. I'm working on it. Am I? I don't know. But I'm not sorry.
Not on the priority list, sorry. Oh, wait. Interesting.
What?
Okay. I just said it's not on the priority list, sorry.
See, once you're aware of it, like once you bring awareness to this habit, you will be horrified at yourself and how much you use it.
Well, what I hate particularly right now is there's this show that there's this character that has this not catchphrase, but something she says frequently, and she happens to be Canadian, so it comes out like sorry.
It's
like a little bit more fun to say that way. Sorry for caring.
Anytime you think that, I want you to just say something like make it an internal joke to yourself. Like, I don't mean to be Canadian, but da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Think about it one step further. That'll help. They'll be like, Canadian. And you're like,
yeah.
If you get it, you get it. I'm moving on. That's hilarious.
I like it.
My favorite thing that I saw in the news today was definitely that the Justice Department is suing Live Nation for their ticket practices. Which wouldn't seem like something I'd care about at first until you realize this is the thing that Taylor Swift bitched about. And so finally it's like getting its day in court, actually. Like that's what's happening.
Literally. Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Was this related to the big ticketing snafu with Taylor's concert launch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So like, and I'm like, she obviously didn't miss out on very much money for that because she's still a billionaire. So we're doing fine. But like, if she, and this is where I think like, if she is like, you know, arguably the most famous person in the world right now, I'll say person, like if she doesn't advocate for this, the little artists aren't going to be able to do it. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a small leap here into the business world. Like, this is why it's so important to find your champions. Like there are C-suites, there are VPs who like want to champion you. There are men who want to champion women in the workplace. You got to find them. Because they have this Taylor Swift kind of star power and can just be like, you know who you should talk to? You should talk to Holland.
Like one word from the right champion in the workplace can go further than a lot.
Yeah. Like this started out as like a tweet from Taylor Swift. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure it did. I don't Swifties don't come for me. I do not have my historical facts on this. Actually, but I'm sure someone in the comments is going to tell me immediately. What's up, but like I'm like very pleased that it's like there's like enough follow through on this situation that like she one concert one time, you know what I mean, like and they messed it up because they're trying to like get more money from people. Like this entire thing where like I have to enter a lottery in order to have the opportunity to spend $3,000 with you is stupid. But like that's the thing that like, you know, Live Nation's doing and Ticketmaster's doing, and like because they're the biggest people in the literally the world who are doing this, like that's what everyone else is doing. I don't think I've been able to outright purchase a concert ticket in years because you have to like first get the opportunity to do this. Like, this is dumb. Luckily, I happen to be very lucky at things. So like I've won all these lotteries, but like I mean, I can't imagine not being able to. But anyway,
That's so sad.
our Lord and Savior Taylor Swift is doing great this morning. She's my favorite. But yes. So first of all, I love Ree Jackson. She says, I'm a Vanessa. And I feel like Ree joined us from Social Media Breakfast where we are talking about like you need to get yourself a Holland or a Vanessa. Like actually I'm a Vanessa. Thank you, Ree. You're amazing. I don't remember what Stephanie was reacting to, but one per day sounds appropriate.
Pick something.
Yeah.
An apple.
I can think of a few things that are none of which are appropriate for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't do
I
it
wasn't going to go there.
Don't do it on LinkedIn. That's the rule, which means no baby pictures, no cat pictures, no dog pictures, no crying selfies. All you like extra sensitive CEOs. I don't want it. I'm not here for it. That's my hot take for the day.
I have another this really spoke to me in the headlines this morning.
Okay.
Over half of U.S. workers say they feel replaceable in their current positions, according to the University of Phoenix's 2024 Career Optimism Index.
Is that framing negative or positive? Like, are they saying, oh no, everyone feels replaceable?
Right. And yeah, because it goes on to to say that most of workers say they need to continue to learn new skills in order to stay ahead, which of course you do. And then they've listed a set of resources that can help you, quote unquote, take charge of your career. I
say it's about damn time they all feel like that. Like,
I was going to say, perhaps they feel that way because everyone is in fact replaceable.
Yes. Quit listening to Beyonce. Like, jeez. Or do listen to Beyonce and understand you're replaceable, not irreplaceable. Right. Like, it's so interesting. And like, and then to tailor that into like, here's some resources on learning skills, you guys, it's what you should be doing all the time. Like,
right.
I don't know how to help you if you don't understand that like the pace of business is moving faster. Therefore, the job that exists, it used to be, I feel like when we were in college, it used to be like every once in a while you'd hear someone say, give some inspirational talk that was like, the job that you're going to be doing is like, doesn't even exist yet. Right. I feel like that happens every year now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm doing a job today that wasn't available even 2 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're not continuously educating yourself on what's on the forefront of whatever your industry is, like
you become irrelevant.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, LinkedIn user.
100%. You can speak for all LinkedIn users.
Yeah. Right. And I think having a healthy sense of the truth of that fact in one's day-to-day corporate America existence is maybe at once a little sad, depressing, but also a little bit empowering to say, well, if that's the case, then I need to do, as you say, even that little bit more extra every quarter, year. I go up to decade. There's gotta be a different measurement in there, but what am I doing on a regular basis to keep myself relevant?
Mm-hmm. And like, what are we, I think it incrementally that is true of like, okay, what's the latest tech stack? What's the latest whatever? Right. I ran into this problem. Hang on. My friend Amy, it's a comment on the last one. The post I made this morning. This is when I need a producer in this room to run my text messages while I do this. No, I ran into this problem with a comment somebody made the other day. He said, my first priority as a marketing director is optimize our website for SEO. I was like, did you miss the announcement like 3 weeks ago that Google's like, no, just make good content that's relevant and we'll take care of it. Like we're smart. We got this. Do you know what I mean? Like your word stuffing does not fool us. So like calm down. And like, and I was like, no, that's like not what you ought to be doing. So there's some level of like, understand the technology, understand the like, innovations on that level. Yeah. And I think there's a second more important part that like, are you developing transferable skills? Do you have things that can get you hireable? Like if your entire industry goes under tomorrow, like let's just pretend this is never going to happen. This is what people think is going to happen. Let's just pretend the oil and gas industry is going to disappear tomorrow and be replaced by EV. First of all, if you don't live in Houston, you know you think that might be happening. It's not. So like, if that does happen though, what are your transferable skills? Do you know how to talk about energy, or do you just know how to talk about oil and gas? Do you know how to talk about all of the downstream effects of this? Do you know how to jump into, natural gas compression? Do you know how to jump into like large scale manufacturing, large scale risk assessment, large scale do you know how to do those things? Because the energy industry needs it. Currently, for the last couple hundred years, we've been stuck in oil and gas, but like it doesn't mean that's the way of the future. So what are your transferable skills that you're developing? What are your institutional knowledges you're developing that can take you across industries? Like if it shuts down tomorrow, like what are those? Like my dad used to tell me, he said, if you know how to answer the phone and run a till, then you are always employable. I was like, oh, that's probably the best career advice you could ever get.
Customer interactions and money management.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, and answering the phone, like for me, let's take that one. Answering the phone comes down to, do you know how to listen? Do you know how to be polite? Do you know how to get answers quickly to the person who's on the phone? Do you understand how to right size your answer to the person that's on the phone? Is the CEO calling you, or is the customer off the street calling you, or is the telemarketer calling you? You could take any of those calls in a day. So do you know how to answer all of those? Yes or no? Do you understand the inner workings of your organization well enough that you could answer a phone blindly and get them connected to the person, like operating a switchboard that has the right answer? Yes or no? If you understand all of those things, you can work at any position in any organization really successfully, because it's not necessarily what you know, it's how you come to connect a problem to a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Holland's like new episodes. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, interesting.
Can't wait to watch the rewatch. So write down everything.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think that we say at Ask Your Work Life, every job is a temp job.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Meaning this is the approach you can take as an internal attitude to the fact of your replaceability, to say like, I know that I could be replaced at any time. Therefore, how am I treating this job as if you were treating a temp job, constantly proving wins, looking at that like 90-day cycle that repeats every 3 months to say like, I need wins every 3 months.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not apologizing for them. And I'm not apologizing for them.
Not apologizing for them, writing them down, telling everyone that you did it, right? Yeah, actually those 3 things.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I think it's interesting to see the people in positions where I'm like, oh, you are only exercising maybe 10% of your total capability, but I understand why you're there and what you're doing. So I'm excited to see like when you leave that, or when you jump to the next thing, what you're going to next. Because you can kind of see like, oh, their public facing thing is this, but I know they're working on these other projects. And when the time comes, they're just going to like level it up and be like, okay, now I'm ready to jump. Like now I'm ready. Like we'd call this a stretch project, right? Or like the elasticity clause. Like I've been quietly working on this stuff over here, and like while I do my day job, and so that this can overtake this.
Right. Right.
You know, it's kind of that. It's like, what are you doing to make sure you're developing transferable skills that you can stay employed in the future?
Right. And I think what really helps is having some sense of some internal driver, some ambition, something that gets you going, something that you want, something that's on the other side.
Yeah.
That is informing every move you make in corporate America.
Because if you don't know what you want, then you're just, I don't know, driven with the wind and tossed by whatever the forces around us are. And like in corporate America, that's the company's bottom line. Like, right. That's it. And I'm not going to live on this earth to satisfy the bottom line of someone else. That's not
unless it's mine.
Exactly. Where's my money though? Yeah. My bottom line is great.
Right. And what we've learned, what we've experienced, and what we try to help other women do is so that there's a partnership between a company's bottom line and yours. There's a relationship, symbiotic, some complementary relationship between what a company wants and what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And if we play our cards right, if we play the game right, then there's a way to get what we want out of corporate America.
Yeah, I like this is a Vanessa principle, not an ask for cry principle. But I don't believe in altruism. I don't think it's a thing that exists. Like, I don't think you can do something purely that goes in your heart. You're getting something out of that. If that means you feel better about yourself, if that means it satisfies some value of yours, great. But like, so if I take that into like our approach to things in corporate America, like the company is not acting in your benevolence. You're not acting in the company's benevolence. You're acting in your own self-interest. They're acting in their own self-interest. But
and there's no morality around that. There's
yes,
nothing good or bad about that. It simply is.
Agreed. But like you can have a mutually assured beneficiary.
Success.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't have to be destruction, right? Like it can be mass mutually assured success, not mad.
There you
right?
go.
Like,
okay, got it.
Like, that's what we're in the middle of here. And I feel like, I mean, back to the top of this conversation, Holland, with like women are not demanding as much pay as men are. I think women seek consensus more than men do. And I think that's the one thing I'd like to just like light a fire under all of us and be like, listen, you say what you want. You're interviewing that company as much as they're interviewing you. You're signing a contract with that company as much as they're signing one with you. Like, you guys should be equal partners in this. I'm going to lend you 8 to 10 hours of my day, 5 days a week, and you're going to provide me safety, stability, and like something interesting to do. You know, like we're not changing the world. We're not curing cancer. We're not saving babies, but we're at least in this like negotiated relationship that is transactional. And that's it. If that stops working for me, I'm going to leave. If that stops working for you, you're going to let me go. Done. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. It doesn't need to be, you know, you've got my favorite pool table and my dry cleaner and, you know, my kids' daycare in your pocket. It doesn't need to be that.
Wow. I think it's really hard to find that distinction, like to walk that line, because I personally have found so much. I find myself when I say like value, identity, meaning out of working in corporate America.
Sure.
And it is so nice to come. This is what I really love about corporate America. You come in, you play the game, and the outcome is assured.
Yes.
Like A plus B equals C every single
Yes.
time. And that's what I love about it. And that allows me to live my life in a way that is additive, that can be built upon, that like I can trust that like what I'm doing over here, providing a financial, like providing an income for my family, means that I can go build a life. I can give to my family. I can build relationships. I can build what I want over here in the 75% of my life that isn't actually working.
And I think America. Where that becomes like problematic is when people take it a step further than you have it, which is my identity, value, sense of self comes from a specific company.
Or like, it ends there.
Yes, exactly. Like what I loved about what you said is like from working in corporate America, you've had that same identity and that same value, and you've derived that same satisfaction from 4 or 5 different companies since you entered corporate America, not just from the one or the two. Like the company you work for now happens to be very value aligned with your life, like with who you are, but that's not necessarily always going to be the case. Right. So like, this is another kind of post on LinkedIn that I can't stand seeing is like, oh, I feel so betrayed by my company. I'm like, first of all, it's not yours. It's not your name on those letters of incorporation. You're not the sole beneficiary of this LLC. That's not how that works. And second, like betrayal is a sign for a relationship, not a transactional contractual
contract.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't sign those kind of marriage contracts anymore, everybody. Like we don't do it. So I just, I'm like, you guys, let's like sort out our relationship with corporate America. You can derive value from it, but like you should not be assigning your entire personality to one company. Like they don't care about you as much as you're going to care about them. And that's a harsh reality for a lot of people. And I'm like, if there's one thing that I help people understand, it's that like a company is a company. It's going to act in its own self-interest. If you also act in its self-interest, you're losing. You always will. The house always wins. So,
and the only way to work within corporate America is to behave like it does,
Yeah.
to know the rules of its game and play by them.
Yeah.
And win by them.
Yes.
That's the thing that I love.
And don't apologize for it. I really love the article. I think it's great. Yeah, like, and I think we had an episode on this, like, are you benefiting from your benefits? Like, sometimes it's not the salary. Sometimes it's like, what are these other things that my company is paying for that, like, I'm just not taking advantage of? Like, I do this in my apartment complex. I don't have a dog. That shouldn't surprise anyone. However, I have an entire city block of prime real estate smack in the middle of Houston that I swear if you developed, it would be a $5 million house, right?
Right, for
I
sure.
have a dog park over there, and I have plenty of friends who live around here with dogs. I'm like, you know what? You call me, you let me know. I will come
Yes.
and let you in. You can stay there as long as you want. I need to be benefiting from something that I'm paying for with my money. In corporate America, you're paying for that with your time and attention, and they're trying to give you a benefit. So make sure you maximize those benefits.
Right,
That's
right.
you watching after your bottom line.
Yeah, and it's worth, like, on the salary or the negotiation front, knowing what those benefits are and calculating them, because those can
Yes.
be an added, like, a truly meaningful addition to your bottom line and to your life.
Yeah. And you'll even find that calculation online. Like, hey, the benefits package for X company is usually worth
Worth.
$50,000.
Yeah.
Are you realizing $50,000 worth of
Right.
benefit from that
Right,
package?
we're right.
Some people aren't. And like, that's my problem. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, well,
Yeah.
find a way to use the dog insurance. Just find it. I don't know. Like,
Figure it out.
you know what I mean? Like, don't get a dog. That's not what I'm saying.
That's not the answer.
That's not an answer. Find someone who has a dog that can benefit from having insurance. I don't know. It's fine.
Incredible.
Oh, well, Holland, I super appreciate you testing this out for me today. Like, I know this is not your
My pleasure.
really.
Welcome to my home office.
Yay! Welcome to our recording studio. This is where I'm at, everybody. This is There's lights.
That's my home away from home.
Yes, exactly. You're usually right here, but you're right here now. I'm like, I need to move this way, maybe, so I can look at you. Yeah. There's my vacuum. It's going to be fine.
Perfect.
But yeah, next week I will be in London, so no, we're not doing that. But the week after that is actually with Jackie Pompicelli, and we're going to be talking operations, all things operations, and it's going to be exactly this. So stay tuned. And the way that I set up like Holland's Live was different because I was dealing with like back end stuff. So the glitches we had at the beginning of this should not exist next week, but we will be doing some testing. So, or not next week, 2 weeks from now on the 30th. But love you guys. You're the best. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.